Coming up on this season-ending edition of Thunder Insider, we'll recap a wild postseason for the Thunder and hear from the team as they reflect.
But we learned a lot. We've been through a lot of adversity throughout the season, and we learned how to, persevere through it.
Plus, the offseason is for improvement. We'll discuss what the players will be working on.
I think I made a good step this year, but it's nowhere near what I think I need to learn.
All that and more is coming your way starting right now. For the final edition of Thunder Insider for the 2013-14 season. I'm Leslie McCaslin, joined once again by Brian Davis and Grant Long. Well, it was a thrilling playoff run, one that ended with 6 games against the Spurs, and that final game was, well, it went out with a bang. An overtime win for San Antonio. Obviously did not end the way Thunder fans had hoped with the NBA Finals run, but an incredible series that started out down 2. Then you get Serge Ibaka back. You're up 2. I mean, it was a roller coaster of a series against the Spurs.
In some ways, Leslie, it was almost a microcosm of the season with players in and players out. And I go back, Grant, to the fact that against a team like San Antonio, you really have to. Nick Collison said it best. You have to value every possession. And if you look just in Game 6, if you look at the fact that the Thunder held the Spurs to a playoff season low, 42 points in the first half, but then gave up 37 points in the third quarter, and that set the table for the Spurs to be able to go on and win that game. You use this, I think, probably as a teaching moment, Grant, as you look forward to the seasons to come.
Well, the first teaching moment is this is our final episode,
yes,
which is our, I would believe, 100th episode. There's supposed to be a cake or something, some streamers or some zoo-zoos and wham-whams. I don't see that. Maybe it's coming
I'm not
later.
blowing in your ear.
Maybe it's something
they're just
later.
Celebrating it's the final one.
Oh, maybe.
Hopefully not.
Okay, but back to the real thing here. The San Antonio Spurs series, I thought it was a great series. What an emotional lift that Serge Ibaka provided in coming back. And we all thought that he wasn't going to play in the playoffs, and he comes back and provides that lift defensively and offensively. And the Thunder win both of those home games. And going away, as a matter of fact, but as you mentioned, Brian, it was sort of the same or snapshot of what happened during the regular season, guys in and out of the lineup. But give Scott Brooks a lot of credit. He was able to manage those different lineups and put guys in and still be productive. Win 59 games. They won 60 games last year. They're having, when you look at their body of work, they're doing a wonderful job of continuing to get better season by season.
We talk about how they fought back just in that San Antonio series, but when you look back at this playoff run as a whole, they played 19 of a possible 21 games in those first 3 series. Started with Memphis, 7 games against a very tough team. Then the Clippers, 6 games in which they fought back and ended it in LA. I mean, Grant, have you ever seen a postseason run like this, one in which on one day you think they may be out of it and the next day they're leading a series?
A credit goes to the team. Again, I always go back to the fact that this is a team that said in October during training camp, guys, we want to be playing for a championship come May and June. We want to be there right in the thick of things. And certainly when you make that commitment in October and follow through with it, dealing with all the adversity that you have to deal with, and yet you still put yourself in a position to vie for a championship, I think it's a credit to this team, a credit to the organization that they continue to stick with it, no matter what adversity they have to face. And again, this is just a hats off to how they continue to improve and go forward.
I think that if you take a step back, first of all, only one team has ever made it to the NBA Finals after trailing in each of the first 3 rounds. It's a very hard thing to do. It's heavy. Emotionally, you become fatigued. Physically, it requires more of an effort to claw back into the game, if you will. But I got to say something. I mean, for this team to have gotten to the conference finals for the 3rd year in the last 4 seasons, when you went through during the regular year what you did, I'm not sure the Thunder ever really got a chance to establish a proper rhythm going into the playoffs. Yes, Westbrook did come back after the All-Star break, but the bottom line is right after that, you lost Perkins and Cephalosha, 2 of your starters for extended periods late in the regular season, and I'm not sure the Thunder really ever was able to recapture that flow that we saw going into Christmas as it went into the postseason.
And when you think about how difficult those series were, it really will challenge you as a ball club playing in that second season we call the postseason. Anytime you have an uphill battle like the Thunder fought in those first couple of rounds, it will challenge you physically and mentally. As I said, when you're starting in October and all of a sudden you get to the almost near the end and it becomes the most difficult that it's been, that's a challenge.
Well, of course, any time that the playoffs doesn't end in a championship is a disappointment for this team because that's the goal at the beginning of the year. But 59 wins, a Western Conference Finals appearance yet again. This has been a successful season for the Thunder in their 6th season here in Oklahoma City.
We had a great year. We won 59 games, won our division, improved in a lot of areas. There's no question last night was disappointing finish to our season, but it's something that we will look back and know that we had a great year. We had a lot of good things that took place this past season.
Just everybody grew individually. Of course, got more experience, but we learned a lot. Been through a lot of adversity throughout the season, and we learned how to persevere through it. So we've grown a lot.
Again, realize the importance of possessions and how important each possession is, and then I think you always lose, or you learn when you lose too.
Experience that we gain, I think is a huge plus. So, we keep getting better at moving the ball, I think, and offensively, we're doing things at a high level.
I thought we overcame a lot of different things that happened to us throughout the season. I thought we stuck together.
You seen a good development out of a lot of young guys with Steven, Jeremy. I thought they got better. Serge even got better this year. And Reggie took it to another level.
We always try to get better and better, and and everything. So I'm sure we learned from that this year, especially in postseason. Well, I hope everybody next year they're gonna come. We're gonna come and different mind, like Brooke said, sacrifice mind.
It's easy to wake up and do something you love, especially when everybody else feels the same way. Like I said, we normally compete to see who'd be the first to the gym, the last one to leave.
I was able to learn a lot going through the season, learning, what I need to get better at, what I do good.
I think I did do a good job this year. I think I got a lot better. Just being more consistent, helping the team, especially when I play with the court group. I think I did a good job.
I think I did pretty well, according to the coaches, in terms of progress, kind of thing. Because, we set out a routine and just stuck through it throughout the whole year, kept it consistent. And, they do that with every player. So I was just following the same thing. And then, for next year, it's going to be the same stuff.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
We got areas that we want to get better with every year. We've done that. We've improved our team and in the way we play over the years. We won a lot of games.